that do-goody-good BS. They're dumbasses. They're poor. That's the evidence that they're dumbasses. They're the immoral ones, those poor people. They need welfare. They're greedy. They keep taking more and more minimum wage. They're causing inflation. Like the Fed coming out, he caused inflation on purpose so that wages will go up. Yeah, like the Fed cares about wages. Isn't that the Federal Labor Department's job to adjust wages, give COLAs? We all know they do that. They set the minimum wage. It's done by law. You see, it's just lies and nonsense. I mean, am I being cynical to say he's a liar when I know he's uber educated, uber smart? No, it's called evil genius. Very diabolical. They scapegoat the poor. You understand how they do that? They're going to blame minimum wage workers, the greedy minimum wage workers who are on this hamster wheel, keeps getting harder and harder to turn because the currency keeps getting debased by raising their cost of living. And we're going to blame them. We're not going to look to the Federal Labor Department and say, why haven't you given the federal minimum wage workers commensurate cost of living adjustments through the years? It's so obviously you're deliberately remiss. You're all fired. You're all fired. So we need a reset. We need a new dollar. We need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. No more Federal Reserve notes. A new dollar, United States Treasury issued. Reset minimum wage based on reality like it used to be, where you could afford to be a middle-class homeowner, where a spouse could stay home and take care of the family if they choose. They could work if they choose. That's how America used to be. And if Trump wants to make America great again, that's what he needs to do. Yeah, that's a big deal. And the demons are going to go crazy, man. The mainstream media, they don't want to talk about the net federal debt, the national debt. As long as they're getting ahead, yeah, I know which side my parrot whatever they tell me to parrot, man. I'm getting ahead. I don't feel the pinch of that national debt. I'm getting richer. You understand? So why people go along with it, why they capitulate and comply with the system, the bad religion that's been shoved down our throats from birth, we're told to accept as normal. They've normalized slavery in America right under our noses with this minimum wage. Then saying you're immoral, oh, you're poor, you need welfare, you need, oh my gosh. What are you, lazy, mooching piece of crap, just a warm body? Why don't you just go die under the bridge? I mean, nobody's saying these things, but I'm just pointing out that's the air. That's satanic air. Jesus called the evil one is like the air, the spirit of the air. It's just there. You know you're hated. You know you live in a world where it's hyper competitive, where you're just another warm body. You're unskilled work. We don't need you. We're shipping in young, strong immigrants to supplant you, to displace you every day of the week. Okay, we want all those weak chains in humanity to just go die. Do the earth a favor, because we're saving the earth at the same time here. You understand how they rationalize this in their sick and twisted delusional minds? That they're doing the earth a favor? The earth needs them. They're saviors. These elitists. These big fat hypocrites. These liars. These cheaters. These thugs. These murderers. These genocidal maniacs. That's who they are. I'm not condemning them. I'm not judging them. I don't own them. I don't have that power. I don't have that right. Only God does. My job is to try to reach them and convince them that, hey, look, we're on to you. You better jump ship. You got a chance. You get the same reward as the righteous, though the righteous have borne the heat of the day out there proselytizing, telling people of the good news and to repent or perish, and being mocked and made fun of. But I'm telling you as a friend, okay, because I'm commanded to love my enemy, and I see you've chosen to be my enemy because you're not living by the golden rule in your business affairs. You don't care about my well-being. It's clear you're mean. You're running a bad religion, and you're the priests. And you got a lot of power, I know that. But you're losing it at the hand and finger of God, and he's working through human beings vicariously. People that aren't cowards, that simply are willing to speak truth to power. And anybody else that'll listen, all those influential people out there, ideas are bulletproof. We pick up on it, we run with it, we plagiarize it, whatever trick of the trade we need to. We're God's friends, we're servants, and by extension, we're friends and servants of humanity. It's a beautiful symbiotic relationship, and we can all be a part of it in a very powerful, profound way. That's right. Remember what a small spark sets a big fire, a forest aflame. And that's what ideas do. And it's God working through us. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, one last thing I'd say to atheists is please don't miss your opportunity to glorify God. And you know what? I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Your gladness of heart is a beautiful thing. Good karma, as you sow, so you reap. Keep goodwill toward men. Forgive the believers for now until you realize that it's a better approach. I mean, it's free insurance. The believers lose nothing at the end of the day if they're wrong. But if they're right, then you miss out on that little window of opportunity called human existence, a very secure, fleeting flash in the pan of existence. We know we could lose at any time everything we're familiar with, all the people, all our family and friends, all our possessions, all our money, everything we have, gone in the blink of an eye. We're under a lot of duress. Thank God, God knows it. And we got to let other people know that we know it. We empathize. We're compassionate and merciful. We have goodwill toward men. Our hearts are pure. We're friends with God. We pray. And we share that that's the right approach, is that we need to spend time, intimate time, personal time, individual time, okay, with Him because He loves us. We all have hobbies. Well, we're His hobby. He wants to spend time with us. He's a jealous God. He's numbered the hairs on our head in a beautiful jealousy, an all-consuming jealousy. And that's beautiful. Aren't you glad that you think you love your kids a lot just because you'd die for them? You can't hold a candle to the love God has for your kids. Your love can't compare. And you wouldn't want to compete. He's a jealous God. But knowing that is so comforting and encouraging. This thing about death being swallowed up in victory and Jesus proving it. And what good that news is that is to everybody, because that is the biggest downer there is. I mean, what worse organic suffering can we undergo? That's the big sleep, man. That's the big change. That's a big deal. And psychologically, it weighs on all of us. It must. It has to. And we need to turn to God and say, so I'm glad you know. Okay? Because I might care much more about my kids dying than myself. It's not my death of myself I'm so afraid of. But just the finality, the permanence, it's just the fear. It's a bad thing. Isn't death always a bad thing? You know, when people are born, you don't hear sirens going off. But if they're about to die, it's like the end of the world. Oh, my gosh. Right? I mean, it's just... we need God to understand this stuff and sort this stuff out. We need to understand all the organic forms of suffering that we have to undergo as human beings is across the board. Therefore, I don't complain about that. We got to take that stuff to the Lord in prayer. I understand Jesus said there's going to be an end to that, the renewal of not some things, all things. All that's going to be history. Everything organically negative, and that's a list. Write a list. Stinging insects, animals that can eat you, natural disasters, it's too hot, it's too cold, all these diseases, death, gravity is deadly, accidents, all this stuff that's so bad. Okay? And, but the thing is that it's across the board, that everybody has to experience this stuff equally. But it's the other stuff out there, the inorganic, the artificial, the invented suffering that's so discriminating. It picks on people that I'm opposed to. And we need to speak out against that. And that's done. The means that to affect that is through money. That's it. It's the power of the purse strings is the most powerful force in this world, not in the universe. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. That's why love is going to prevail. God's will is going to be established because it's good and pure and right. And you can know that absolutely about your own heart and mind, your spirit, your soul, your will for humanity that you can learn through God. I mean, I'm nothing special. I'm no smarter than anybody else. I'm no inherently blessed than anybody else. But we can all decide to be here on a mission to serve humanity, try our best, at least, to leave this world a little better for our brief visit, and then be found worthy and deserving of inheriting a better world. I mean, this is my message to the evildoers, trying to convince them. See, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to. I don't know who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to the most evil man on earth, it's the same message. I mean, I'll serve them. It's not because I can't know their heart. I don't know. I'm not their judge. So, yeah, I mean, if they need a landscaper, yeah, I'll work in the evil Satan's yard for now. But, there's going to be this separation from the wicked and the righteous. That's going to come down. It has to. God has to do it so his name continues to be vindicated. Okay, he can't just be a paper tiger in perpetuity. Okay, because that's the way it appears. Because even I question, I say, can't you do more, God? I mean, how about some more celestial visits? Show them some more holy angels. Make sure that the mainstream media can't ignore this stuff and just slough it off. We had a local news lady. She made fun. She said, because this guy in the jetpack that was identified as the guy in a jetpack by a couple of pilots, right? And she said, oh, it was a UFO. I'm sure she's just parroting the syndicated news. But no, I mean, it's right there in your face. It's like, that's gaslighting. No, it's not an unidentified flying object because immediately it was identified as a guy in a jetpack. So you get what I'm saying? The departure of reality that's just normalized. It's okay. Just go along to get along and comply, conform, capitulate to this bad religion. Oh, well, they're just too powerful and overwhelming. They're insurmountable. They're unassailable. Just worship them and you'll do fine. Be a part of the establishment. Come on over. The water's fine. The angel of light is over here, Lucifer. No, it's a beast system. And the believers get it. All right, friends, I'm going to read quickly. I'm going to get back to thoughts. I got digressed there into pontificating, but I am going to get on to some more thoughts. In this day and age, the 21st century AD, with nearly universal access to the internet, that is the worldwide net, then the only people whom remain ignorant, confused, or just flatly stupid are those whom choose to be. No person in their right mind, with the key caveat, requires a rule, a law to not do wrong. If we simply live honestly by the credo to treat others as we would like to be treated, aka the golden rule, we automatically, by default position, will not steal from others. We will not lie about others. We will not murder each other, nor will we rape or molest each other. If we simply value our God-given conscience, we will be given clear bounds for acceptable behaviors. We will be given the insight to see the end from the beginning, thus keeping us in check. Yeah, I started that by, I don't think I started reading it right. I need an editor for my punctuation sometimes. But I meant to say just at the beginning, I'm only going to go through the beginning of this again. No person in their right mind, in quotations I put, and then I put a semicolon, and the key caveat, that's a key caveat, that you must be in your right mind, okay? So no person in their right mind requires a rule, a law to not do wrong. I honestly cannot think of a single logical, legitimate, or intellectual explanation of why any person in their remotely right mind would object to the idea that they are owned by an all-good, all-loving, all-powerful Creator. In order to accurately understand the whole truth, one must genuinely crave and earnestly seek the whole truth. It doesn't pay to be evil, not in terms of real profit. Right values are real profit. Human beings, friends, are valuable profit, but money is not real valuable profit. If everyone else is a little bit like myself, if they have lived a significant amount of time, they mature, they grow, they improve, they are like fine wine. We discover many interesting things about ourselves. We wonder why we sometimes feel unforgiving toward ourselves, and by automatic extension, others. It is interesting to note all the sundry things we thought, said, or did when we were younger. We felt entirely different. We feel entirely different now, and we wouldn't think, say, or do any of those things now for anything in the world. Ergo, we have sound basis to forgive ourselves and others by extension. Inaction in the face of any injustice toward yourself or others is inverted inaction, is inverted action. The net result being to facilitate and promote injustice by way of default position, by the example we set through compliance. Therefore, inaction in the face of anyone's injustice is indeed a very powerful action, one in which we will all give account for someday.